Whoa! How many times does that happen? Like, seriously. What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here, bringing your latest in your Brooklyn Nets news. So, here we are. We're in the playoffs, the first round. 3 games in, actually, for the Nets and for mostly everybody. 3 games in. Nets are up 2-1. Good start. That's kind of what I expected. If you remember, I picked the Nets in 6 games, and this is exactly what I thought would happen so far. I figured the Nets would win Game 1, lose Game 2, win Game 3 and 4, Raptors will win Game 5, Nets win Game 6. That's my prediction. So far, we're looking like that. But let's look at the series so far of what we've seen coming into it. The Raptors are here, and they're here to stay. I am going to tell you right now, this Raptors team is going to become very good next year. They're good right now, and they're going to give the Nets a run for their money. I definitely do not believe the Raptors have a chance to win this series, because I'm going to be honest, the Raptors are playing some of their best basketball these last 3 games, especially in Game 2. And the Nets just haven't seen everything click with the Nets yet. We've seen things click in Game 2 for the Raptors, but not so much for the Nets. Yes, Joe Johnson's playing fantastic, and Darren Williams had a great game in Game 3. Paul Pierce hit the big shot in Game 1, then had to run his mouth about how great he is and how clutch he is, and then misses 2 open threes that would have won the game in Game 2. Whatever, that's Paul Pierce there for you, but and he's kind of irrelevant. He was okay. But Marcus Thornton is somebody, if you look in the series, he just hasn't existed in the playoffs yet. And that's what I'm trying to say. The Nets haven't had everything click on all cylinders. And so that's why Toronto, I'm sorry, I just don't see you pulling off this upset, winning the series. I think that Toronto is going to win in one more game, but I think it's just too much veteran leadership and too much talent on the Nets, and it's going to oversee Toronto. Because let's be honest, the Raptors just really consist of Lowry and DeRozan, and then occasionally other players come in and do things really well, like Patterson and Vasquez, and Valanciunas and Amir Johnson. Those guys kind of help out occasionally, but aren't consistent enough players. But let's look at the series so far. Game 1, great crowd in Toronto. Like, tip your hat to those crazy Canadians who always are dumb. They boo Vince Carter still because they're dumb, and they booing Kevin Garnett saying KG sucks. And then, of course, we all know about the GM saying, F Brooklyn to try to... There's something about Toronto fans and Toronto people that are just like, everyone says Canada's so passive-aggressive, but those fans are just sinister, and it's kind of cool. I like it. I personally like it, but great environment, but Nets went in there, put a little bullet in there. Bullet, that's not really a good way to say it, but they just shut them down, played well. Lost Game 2. Like I said, Paul Pierce was the reason that... I don't care how clutch Paul Pierce has been and how clutch he sometimes still is. Joe Johnson needs the ball in his hands down the stretch. I don't care. Paul Pierce occasionally can make them play, but Joe Johnson needs the ball in his hands. He's the best playmaker they've got. So he has the ball, he shoots, he misses, the Nets lose. But they bounce back in Game 3. Though they really should have blown out the Raptors, being up by 15 with, I think, like 7.5 minutes to go. Raptors made a strong comeback. Refs a little... You can fill in the blank. But you know what? That's the way the refs have been in every playoff series. But, the Nets held on strong and they won Game 3. So now Game 4 is going to be Sunday. And you know what? I'm ready for it. I think it's really, really important that the Nets continue to play like there's no tomorrow. They got to play with this tough energy. Garnett's bringing some old man toughness and some aggression. He's diving on the floor. He's screaming at things. I like the Nets in this series. I always have. Other than the fact that I'm a fan, as an analyst, I'm going to say the Nets. It's simple. I'm going to tell you, Nets are going to win Game 4. They'll lose Game 5 back in Toronto, but they'll win Game 6 and go on and win. The rest of the playoff series have all been very interesting. I think the biggest surprise to me is that the Mavericks blew out San Antonio in Game 2 at San Antonio. I was thrilled because, I'm rooting for the Mavericks in that one because I'm Vince Carter. Like, woo! And I'm like, yeah! And Vince Carter had a nice two-handed double-clutch dunk. And I'm like, he ain't old. And it was very impressive to see that going on there. The other surprise has to be, obviously, NetsDog, what are you doing? Hey! What is it, NetsDog? Hey. Hey. Now you're in the video. Now you're going to be in the video. NetsDog is back! What up, Nets fans? I don't really have anything to say. I didn't want to be in the video. But I was being a little bit of a jerk face and was making noises. So here I am. NetsDog, 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 Nets. Let's go Nets. Raptors. I guess Raptors means like he doesn't like him. But there was nothing in the script. My imaginary script that I don't write. There's nothing for him in it, but he just decided to come over here and be a little bit of a jerk doggy face, but good NetsDog. But anyway, like I said, the other surprise, I got sidetracked, is the Hawks are 2 games up on the Pacers. 2-1 over the Pacers. What is going on? But if you remember my prediction, I said you're not going to see a Miami versus Indiana Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm sticking to that because right now the Pacers don't look good. However, not even I was going to predict that the Pacers would be trailing in this series ever. I mean, yes, they lost game 1, but anyone can be trailing when you're losing game 1. But now they lost game 2? I mean, man, I'm getting ahead of myself. They lost game 3. They won game 2. They lost game 3, and now they're down 2-1. Pacers will still win that series. It's going to go 6 games. I think the Pacers are going to win the last 3 games and just move on. But so that's it. There's not much to say. You know, the rest of the series are really intense. You know, Portland has the lead over Houston. I think that's not going to be a surprise. But everything else is kind of what you expected. Really exciting, really cool stuff. And I'll be back probably after around game 5 or game 6. I might have one more video. Maybe the end of the series video. Maybe I might not have another one anytime before that. But who knows? Just keep your eyes out there. So far, the Nets are looking good. They got to keep it going. They're up 2-1. Let's see what happens in Game 4. And until then, this is a very quick and very informative and very good NetsBoy. So NetsBoy, signing off.